Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Stella.
And I'm Lulu.
So, what is the word to you, Lulu?
Well, allow me. All the rules are staged, and only men and women wear clears.
Yes, and we're now, according to Shakespeare, playing our second role as a high school student, creeping like snail, unwilling to school.
So, the world doesn't seem like a nice place, as you like it if you're not a high school student.
No, unfortunately. It is for 11th grader like me, a gladiatorial arena, a killing ground, where I knock down all the fellow students around me with ever-growing sport to get to the top 1%.
Well, the world be a different place when you get there.
No, again, unfortunately. I'll be doing the same thing. Get to the top with the thing I'm good at producing, when I'm a college student, when I'm a college graduate, when I work for a company, even when I own a company. It is an endless battle for endless growth.
As you, the last person standing, the final winner.
No, and this is the most unfortunate part of the story. Everyone loses actually. You don't get to the top without losing something. Something that may sometimes be way more valuable than what you plan to get. Like when I knock you down or when I lose.
Our friendship,
Exactly.
can we both win?
There might be a possibility that we create a win-win situation for the world. That is, like me, overburdened by this ever-growing demand of ever-growth. Then, Liga and Jello will share with us this possibility.
Growth is killing us, says Jason Hinkle, author of Less is More. According to him, it is the single greatest driver of climate breakdown and ecological collapse.
He sounds like an unhappy man.
We will all be unhappy if change is not made.
Is the situation really that bad?
Believe me, it is that bad. A polar bear with no ice to stand on, a fish with no water to swim in, a human being with no fresh air to breathe. And, my friend, it's getting worse.
I'm feeling guilty now. I'm feeling unhappy now.
You're not the only one feeling so. Do you know Greta Thunberg?
Of course, a Swedish high school girl who didn't want to go to school.
For good reason, my friend. At the age of 15, she started spending her Fridays outside the Swedish parliament, holding up a sign that read, "School strike for climate."
How dare she?
It's funny you should say so.
What's funny?
This is exactly the accusation Thunberg made against world leaders who care nothing but their GDP growth. "How dare you," she said. "You have stolen my dream and my childhood with your empty words."
Wow, she was definitely much more unhappy than I am.
Indeed, she was so unhappy with the world that has long been deceived yet deeply hurt by the capitalist lie of ever-growth.
What's wrong with capitalism?
Capitalism is an economic and political system that aims at accumulating as much capital as possible and by producing and buying as many products as possible.
Well, it sounds good to me.
It sounds good to almost everyone. I mean, who wouldn't want to earn more and buy more?
It would indeed make me happy if I could do that.
It wouldn't if you would know how the system works.
Really?
Really, you see, the system works on the basis of endless consumption, and nothing is consumed without producing pollution of some kind.
Even if I only consume a bottle of water I buy from a convenience store,
You then produce a certain amount of plastic waste, and the factory that consumes electricity produces what the bottled water does, a certain amount of carbon dioxide that causes global warming.
I never saw that buying could be so evil.
Buying is not evil, but buying more than one thing is.
Well, I'm feeling guilty now.
This is not entirely your fault, Jen. Major manufacturers competing against each other by producing all sorts of unnecessary desires in consumers to boost their market.
What should we do then?
As individuals, we should stop buying things we don't need.
Count me in.
And I urge big companies to stop killing each other in this capitalist battlefield and do our Mother Earth a favor by producing less.
How do you know the Earth wants us to do that?
Well, since the end of 2019, the COVID pandemic has drastically slowed down the global production and consumption. And what's happened with this economic downturn? A healthier world. Nitrogen dioxide in the air has dropped by 12% in China. by 31.5% in India in 2020. And people can now see fish swimming in the canals of Venice for the first time in half a century.
Wow, these are anti-evidence enough to say she wants us to stop producing and consuming.
Will those big companies listen to our plea?
They have to. There won't be anyone they can sell their product to if global warming means the end of the world.
Some of them have already sensed the urgency. Selfridges, a chain of high-end department stores located in the United Kingdom, have started Project Earth in 2020 and is now selling second-hand clothing.
The world is indeed a stage, and we don't like the show on it. Although we high school students are not playing a minor role, we will certainly be the leading one someday, and we will give the world a good show. Thank you for listening.